Hello, my name is Max and welcome to this video episode of Tabletop Reviews. Today I'm looking at Donald Duck board game. Yeah, this is one that's not a Kickstarter. Finally, I've done a lot of Kickstarters so far. I think all of my episodes have been Kickstarters, but not this time. This is a game I found right at the beginning of my board game interests. Right around the start of the pandemic, actually, yeah. And it was just for sale alongside two or three other games that I wanted. I can't remember. 2 or 3 other games that I wanted. And it was like, throw this in. I mean, it's Donald Duck. I don't know how well you can actually see my figures here, but I have got Mickey, Donald, and Daisy over here. And Donald is the first one I got. I just got the other ones because I can. So I really like Donald Duck. Obviously, I really wanted this one. Now, before we get too much into it, let's head to the table, see how it's set up and how it's played. Okay, here we are at the table, ready to set up the game. Let's set it up for 4 players this time. Let's do that. So, start off by assembling the puzzle that is provided in it. This becomes Duckburg and your playing area. Set up your question cards, which is the ones with the comics on the back, and your action cards next to the table. Bring in your step counter and your little lucky wheel. You'll add a little cube on the 5 to showcase that's it. And then each player decides on a character to use and picks up that character's both the figure, the standee thing, and it's little tokens. And each player will also be receiving the root card of the character that they have chosen, on which you will see your starting destination and whichever destinations you need to visit before going to the money bin. And then you of course place all of your characters the correct places. And there you are, set up and ready to start the game and your little journey around Duckburg. Oh, I almost forgot the most important thing. A player will be receiving this, the lucky dime. It's kind of randomly distributed. You're actually supposed to have enough of these for every player, so it's kind of a secret who gets it. But I can't find them. I think I've lost them. I think I lost them a long time ago. So one person just kind of receives that one. Yeah. Terrible. Anyways, now you're ready. Now you're ready to play and to move around the board, of course. And the aim of the game is to be the one who visits all of the destinations and then gets to the money bin the first with the lucky dime. Now, the way you do that is every turn you have 5 steps marked by this little circle here, and you can spend the steps differently. You spend 1 step by taking a step. Quite simply just moving in any direction that you want from one circle to another circle on the board. You can get asked a question which will cost you 2 steps. If you answer correctly, you'll get an action card, which can give you something good, or it can give you something bad. You can spin the lucky wheel, which has 4 different outcomes. 2 of them are 0, 1 of them are 3 extra steps, and 1 of them is 6 extra steps. That will cost you 2 steps, but of course can give you a reward. Or you can snatch up the lucky dime from the player who has it by using 1 step. And using this method, going around Duckburg, answering questions, snatching up the lucky dime and delivering it at the money bin, you will win. 1 person will be the winner. Now, as I said, you need to visit all of your destinations, and when you've visited a destination, you can place one of your tokens with the character on it to showcase that you have indeed visited that place. And yeah, that's it. That's the game. nice and simple, set back up and talk about my thoughts on it. And there we are. That is how you play it, that is how you set it up, that is how you play it. Now let's talk about thoughts. Now first of all, I'm only having the lid here because the insert in it, it's a little bit of like a plastic insert, is so freaking terrible. The pieces don't go properly together. It's kind of shit, and it flies all over the place. So therefore I just have the lid to show you the game, but I can't hold up the game like that. I would have to hold it like this. But before we talk about the components, let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is fine, I think. I mean, it manages to not just be lucky, because this was so easy to just be roll the dice, move around, some places make you do something. This is not. It actually manages to give you some choices of what to do, and it's all in your control. The only thing about those choices, like there's obviously 4 things you can do each turn, but it's really only one of them that you would want to do. Yeah. I mean, quickly talking about those. Move. Just fucking move all the way. If you have the lucky dime, just go. Run as fast as you can. If you don't have the lucky dime, go as fast as you can up on the side of the one of the lucky dime, steal the lucky dime, keep on gunning it. I mean, it's interesting with the quiz aspect, but the quiz aspect it doesn't give enough, right? It's the thing of you can draw up a question, it can be super easy, you know it right away, or it's be like, yeah, pass, and you've wasted your moves. Spinning the wheel thing again, 6 extra moves, awesome. Run. 3 extra, still okay. 0 extra, I've just wasted my turn. And there's a 50% chance in that when you waste your turn. And then there's of course stealing the lucky dime, which is good when you're in a position. Like in one game we had, one of the few games, my stepdad, he was going around and he all of a sudden was on the side of the one at the lucky dime. It's like, well, I'm gonna steal lucky dime. I'm gonna spend my last 2 moves to go to the money bin and have 1. And just like that. And really no one quizzed except for me, and I think my mom maybe did it a little bit. But no one really quizzed because it didn't really give anything. Spinning the lucky wheel. None of us were gamblers enough. So basically it's good to have the choices. They just needed to mean something more. Need to be more meaning with them. So yeah. But I think it's a simple gameplay, very simple. You have 5 moves, do one of these things. But it's still something somewhat interesting. But it's still, again, this thing with a little interesting is still a caveat at the fact that choices doesn't make a lot of sense. But I do think it's kind of interesting to see someone spin the wheel and be like, what it's gonna land on. Ooh. It's exciting. And it's gambling, it's exciting. Of course, the interesting of the quiz, again, like, it's interesting to sit there and like, oh, it's a tough question, or oh, I know the answer to that one, does he? So that's a little bit interesting, but it's, again, it's kind of just, you're gonna move around. That's why it's easy to win. Just move your 5 times each turn, steal a lucky dime, get in the money bin. It's very easy to win. Yeah. But I think one thing I want to mention, the characters obviously are the exact same, except their route is different. And I think their routes are very well balanced. Like the places they have to go, even in the quick round where they don't hit everything, is kind of balanced. You can easily go around it in the almost exact same pace, depending on, again, which direction you choose to move, because every time you have to go out of location to another location, there's at least 3 options. So depending on how you choose to go, they're very, like, it's the equal amount. It could have been very easy to be like, you know, Donald Duck has a further route, therefore he's at the disadvantage. But no, he's a little bit further at the start to his next destination, but someone else has a finishing destination that's far or something. So it's kind of balanced in that way. I like that. It didn't have to be super balanced like that, but it's good. So I think that's enough about gameplay. It's yeah, it has some really good sides, but it's had one obvious choice that just brings it down. The components. Well, first of all, you have the massive stack of question cards, and then of course the action cards. They're okay at best. I think I can say that they're okay. Kind of thin. I wouldn't dare shuffle them too much. And, I received mine bent, but that's not necessarily the production team's fault. That's the person before me. Right? I bought it used. They were a little bit bent. So yeah, okay cards. Then you have the cardboard standees of the characters and cardboard tokens of the characters and of the coins. I don't think I want to say anything bad about it. I'm surprised at how well the cardboard standees hold when you, because to pack it down easily you have to remove the plastic foot and then put it on when you want to play. I'm surprised at how well the cardboard holds up to being clipped in and out. I haven't done it a crazy amount, but I'm still kind of surprised at how well it holds up there. That's a good surprise for that one. But otherwise, it's cardboard. Perfectly fine quality. I don't think like you're gonna find that in every other game that uses cardboard punch out or cardboard stains, whatever. It's kind of. I do want to think the root cards are very nice, good, thick. You can hold them. It's just too bad that it's the root cards that are like that and not anything else. Because the root cards is literally just something you put in front of you. Like, okay, I have to go here now. Okay. So it's wasted to have one of the best components be those. It's very wasted. Okay. So, does it lie to you? Well, on the box it says 7 and up, 2 to 6 players, 30 plus minutes. I think the biggest lie is those 30 plus minutes. Because that's only if you want to waste your turn answering questions or, you know, doing anything except for moving or taking a lucky dime. Then it might take longer, but otherwise you're just moving around. It takes 10 minutes or less. It's that's how quickly it can go. So I think that's the biggest lie. The 2 to 6 players, I definitely would prefer it at 4 to 6 players, but 2 or 3 works fine as well. But I do prefer it at 4 to 6. But 2 to 3, it works fine. And then 7 and up, I think if you want to play with the quiz one, depending on the Dundalk knowledge, because the questions are really some deep lore shit. Honestly, I have gone through some of the questions, and I've gone through my comic collection. I have almost every single comic book released in Denmark with Dundalk. I have almost every single story, right? And this is a Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, Scandinavian-centric game, I do believe. And some of the questions really have some obscure characters, obscure stories. So, but some of them as well are just, what color is Dundalk's car? I can't actually remember if that's one of them, but very simple ones like that. So it varies a lot. But I think 7 you're fine. 6 you're probably also fine. 5 maybe. So, yeah. The final score I'm going to give it is going to be a 4 out of 10. And it's mostly because of the lost potential. Like, it's so surprising to have such a game like this one coming from Tactic. I don't know if that's a very widespread one, but here in Denmark, they're the ones that give you Monopoly, Ludo, those kinds of things. So you don't expect much from a game from them. And therefore I'm almost so much more annoyed when you have a game like this. As I said, the quiz and this spinner thing, those are interesting, and you could have done a little bit more with them and having a bit more interesting. A 5 or a 6 out of 10 game here. But they just wasted because they are not good things to do. Good games have all the things be good. And you know, sometimes you're like, that would have been a little bit better, but this is still really good actually. But this one, it's every single turn. Move or steal the lucky dime. If you do anything else, silly you. So because of that much lost potential, that I can see some pretty good ones, like a game I could actually pull out and really enjoy, but also with my nephews and stuff, younger cousins and nephews that are pretty young, could really enjoy a game that's a lot better, that could have been a lot better than Monopoly. But in the end, 4 out of 10, I'm a bit disappointed in this game, honestly, after having played it. Oh, I didn't expect anything, and then I got almost something. So am I keeping it? At first, the answer was yes, I'm keeping it. It's set in my collection. As I said, I love Donald Duck. I have some things from Donald Duck games with Donald Duck on it that I have only because it's Donald Duck. But as my collection have grown, I have to get rid of some things because the space that I have for board games is not growing. My collection is, the room for it is not. And unfortunately, the Donald Duck board game is probably one that is taking an L and leaving my collection. It has some potential. I think it could be really good for young kids who love Donald Duck like I do. But it's not going to be it's not going to be staying in my collection, unfortunately. Anyways, that was my episode on Donald Duck, the board game. This time it's not a Kickstarter, and this time it's not overly positive. Changing up the pace a little bit here, and not being so incredibly enthusiastic. I'm just gonna end the episode here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye!